Market vitals, the levels you need to triage the market. HFR, feeling groovy. And man, my future's so bright. I gotta wear shades.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Welcome, Lee. Welcome, Miss Trade, Matt Davio, the don't. We call him the don't. He's, he never traded on the trading floor, but his personality sets up perfect for a commodity trader. I could sell something I don't own. Yeah, sold for sure.
I mean, that was the aha moment for me with stocks back in 91, 92. After, I started making some money after college, and I started giving it to broker friends in Chicago.
Taking your money.
Making me broker. Selling me story stocks, literally selling me story stocks. I would continuously.
Yeah, well, you're human. Humans love
I would
stories.
continuously plow $5,000 into these stories and these companies I'd never heard of. $5,000 would turn into 100, 800, and I'd be like, puke. And then I started asking my guy, I'm like, why don't we just do the opposite? He's like, oh, you can do that. I go, what? And I have the same conversation with people all the time. They're like, what are you buying? I'm like, I'm selling everything. What do you mean? What am I buying? Because we're in the sell side, the right side of the market. People get so confused by it. So yeah, sell first, buy second is a great way to make a living in the market, Bob. Get off the phone, you fathead. Yeah, you're muted. We can't hear you.
That's a beautiful thing. Nobody saw that I was on the phone.
I saw.
Yeah, no. Well, that's the beauty. That's the beauty of this technology. Is the Zoom AI is actually like our little producer in the room. As long as you're talking, I could be tubing over here. Zooming, tubing.
Jeffrey Toobin,
and nobody would know, Matt. Nobody would know. The little yellow boxes around you. I'm tubing away over here.
Right.
Sliding away. Slip sliding away. Hey, Matt, the beauty of technology also allows me to join the celebration. Yeah, the abs.
But your teeth can't look like the guy at the base there.
I need to get the blackout on my teeth to actually fit in with the hockey crowd.
I mean,
man, youth was served.
Great series, great game. Tampa Bay was dominating the good chunk of the really good chunk of the half game, and then was 1-1, and they got that lucky goal, and that was the end. I mean, 2-1. I mean, it just couldn't get any bounces. Nobody could the rest of the game.
Yeah, but
stuck in neutral zone. It was a defensive battle.
The jump, they for sure had a better jump, and I got to tell you, man, I know the grind of hockey. If you've never played hockey, I'm not sure you can understand when these guys.
I don't even like getting into the argument that hockey is by far the most athletic and difficult team sport that there is.
Oh my God. And when you see these guys raise, like, I don't think there's a greater euphoria than watching a hockey player, especially a guy that's been in the league 10 years and never sniffed it, raising that cup. I mean,
they literally are bawling. They're bawling.
Shaking. I mean, the
adrenaline is leaving their body.
That it took to get there is just. Yeah. And even when they came back to the booth, they said that Chelios and who else was with them in the booth? They get choked up because they did it and they understand.
Messier.
Yeah. Oh man, Messier's got one of the great ones of all time. Just awesome.
Well, and now
when he won it with the Rangers, like right after a 10-year hiatus, after winning several in Edmonton, right?
Yeah.
And then when he won it with the Rangers, he was like,
can't believe I'm getting it again. Yeah.
Right. Just
awesome.
So awesome.
Well, Darren Helm, former Red Wing, was on that. He was that guy for the Avalanche last night. He had won it 14 years ago with the Red Wings was the last time, and same thing. He knows this is it. It's like swan song, man. If you're Jack Johnson, the other guy played at Michigan, 15 years in the league, he finally won.
We had it was actually 5-2. better than even odds that he'd bring up Michigan in this.
I mean, it's easy because it's
Take
just,
your sunglasses off so we
easy.
can see the Red Wing.
It's easy.
The Red Wing hat.
Well, we're setting up for next year. It's on to next year now.
It's on to next.
We live in the
Always
future. We live in the past, not in the past, but we live in the present and going forward, don't we? So
We
pay
hope
attention.
We hope to, and let's not forget. Let's not forget, Matt, that seemed meaningful for those fellas. But the breaking news out of the World Economic Forum is that you don't need to have a happy or meaningful life. This message from the World Economic Forum, not in concurrence with the grind to win an NHL Stanley Cup, because you want to talk about happy and meaningful. Holy shit, that is just perfect. Thank you, World Economic Forum.
Well,
Matt,
the World Economic Forum and the G7 is going on. It started this weekend. That looked like a ball of fun. If you saw some of the video out of Bojo talking to your boy Trudeau and Macron. I mean, what a bunch of Fruit Loops, man. What a bunch of Fruit Loops.
Matt, speaking of it, because they're all incredibly worried about the climate change.
Yeah, we've shifted narratives. Have you noticed?
But I want to just bring up
The abortion gun narrative is quickly came and went. It's like it's ending fast.
Here we go, Matt. Coal production. And I'm gonna just jump right up here. Look, I can actually do this. Look at me. What is going on? I thought, why would we need a world of coal? Oh, that's right. They shut down all the nuclear. Nobody can get natural gas in Europe, so they're firing back up the coal plants. Meanwhile, China just killing it in the stripping of the earth. I mean, they've tripled everybody else's coal production now.
Yeah, and again, they're not in the whole climate change bumpkiss, so they're free to do whatever they want. And also, if you're Hunter Biden, you make a lot of investment.
Well, hold on a second. Let me share a second, because we're going to go to the chart on some price discovery. But let me share, because of course that's the back thread, right? They tell you the way that it is and how horrific you are for having a carbon footprint. All the while, Matt, and we don't want to be a political show, but policy, Matt, policy.
Mm-hmm.
Hunter Biden Chinese firm invests $1 billion into the world's largest greenhouse gas emitter. He's got 10% of this. This says I can't verify that, but for sure, going to profit from that chart that's behind me here on coal production, especially out of China.
And again, it's the old listen to what I do, not what I say, right? The John Kerrys, the Greta Thunbergs. Why isn't she raging in Beijing?
How dare you?
Why isn't she raging? And instead, she's at the Glastonbury Music Festival, where all the kids leave behind mountains of trash because they're so woke.
All right, Matt, let's go to the price discovery. We found two actual coal New York Stock Exchange traded firms.
Well, we got the old Arch Coal, which is now
Bring it up.
Arch Resources, Bob. And COVID low.
So wait a second, they took coal out of their name. Now it's Resources.
Yeah, but it's obviously done very well since the COVID low of 23.34. It's gone 10x itself. 183.95 was the high. Let's call it 9x. But it has pulled back, very bullish. I mean, if you could get a dip down here, another $50-$60, if you're not involved, that would be the area. Probably down here, $95 that it would bounce first. But it's a very bullish chart, has been. So yeah,
now,
Hunter,
can you fractal in and talk about the dark side, because it looks right-sided to me. So if it's
sure. I mean, the last couple months it has been, and for sure. So any rallies that you get up here up into the 170 area, and matter of fact, really where we are, you should start selling. It bounced right back to balance. So this would be an area where I would start probably selling calls. I would sell the 170 strikes or, something like that. Again, you can be creative and or buy some puts on the longer term side, because it does look like it's coming off a little bit after a 10x. And as we know, nothing is safe at the end of the day. from the bear market. So don't be stupid. And we're not suggesting you buy it right here. Matter of fact, to your point, Bob, on the shorter term chart, it is a sell. It's a screaming sell.
And you know where
and you just had a
15%
rally from 137 up here to 155 or so. The other name that we were looking at, and I'll start with the longer term, which is it's funny that it's named HHC, which is the Howard Hughes Corporation. So this has obviously gone through a number of iterations and names over the years, but
now it's Warrior Met Coal.
Yeah. So HHC again. Did I type in the right one? Is that the right?
I have HHC trading at 32.60.
Well, I just typed in HHC and I get this Howard.
Yeah, but there's two of them. There's
okay.
Two of them.
Excuse
you
me.
got the wrong one.
All right. Where I don't see the other one. I don't know what happened to it. Anyways.
HCC. How about that? It's HCC.
Yeah, maybe I trans.
No, there you go. You're dyslexic.
No, that's not it. That's not it either.
There was two HCCs.
Okay. Anyways, HHC. I'm not coming up with it on my charts here. So why don't you give it a shot?
Let me share. Why don't I share?
Yeah.
And I'll fractal way out here.
But that chart hit a high of 112 and is currently trading, right around 68. So the Howard Hughes, but that's not.
Oh, this is Warrior Met Coal, Matt, and it's this is a monthly, and to me it looks pretty toppy. It's putting in a terrible monthly candle. Couldn't take out the highs made a couple months back. Here the high in March was 42.95. You got 4 months now. They've been in this bracket, Matt, 30 to 42, let's call it. And it's going to close out of up momentum on the monthly, all things being considered. We close the month where it is right now. If we fractal in just a little bit and go to the weekly, lo and behold, look at that. Last week it closed in lower momentum for the first time. So for me, our simple math, Matt, that bracket 30 to 42, if it takes out 30 and closes below there, why wouldn't it
trade to 20?
Trade exactly 18 to 20. And a lot of times, Matt, it's so much easier just to stay stupid, simple, and just do those type of math equations into your head. That's the potential. Why wouldn't the potential be the same that it's already done?
Yeah, and you can see that really nicely here on the profile. Also, it went from 9 all the way to 43, so not quite as this is a secondary player compared to Arch, but 5-bagger, 5.5 bagger, not a bad move. And to your point, we're right-sided here on the longer term chart. And if it does break this level again at 30, it's likely going to trade down to 20, which is the point of control. So it mirrors nicely and it goes right to the area where you're going to find a lot of interest. So yeah, if you miss the bull run, and to me, it does appear to be over or at least right-sided, then you're looking for rallies to sell. And we just had a bit of a rally, but we had one here a week ago. Like, again, if you'd done this homework and you saw this rally back to 41, you should have sold it again, because it's not, doesn't look like it's going to go over 43. So, again, now it's just kind of basing, but if it breaks 30 here on a close, very likely it's going to go to 20. To me, I agree with that, Bob.
Bingo. All right, Matt, one thing I wanted to bring up here was Mike.
Before you hop, let me talk, because since we're talking natural resources, I want to talk about oil again, because we talked about it last week when it was down at 101s. We're sitting at 110 again today, Bob. 110 crude.
Yeah, bring up crude, because we've talked about it. Like, this is not going away anytime soon. And I think the government is supposed to release. Did they release the inventories? Because they had put it off for a week.
Yeah, no, let's see. Here's what's going on. We got durable orders tomorrow. It's a really quiet week. We got consumer confidence. We got crude oil inventories this Wednesday, 29th. Okay, so that's happening Wednesday. And then jobs has been pushed to the 8th. We talked about that last week. So there's really nothing that should, really disrupt whatever they're going to do with this market into the holiday this week. So I think people need to think about that a little bit. And they think, don't be too bearish too early, because even though today we're starting out a little weak, we're not really down much. And I think
no, we got month end, quarter.
We got month end, quarter end, games shenanigans going on again. So I think he's got to be prepared. That being said, oil is back into the value zone here on a 23-minute 1 month chart. And why couldn't we go back to 124, 125 again? As you know, again, as we start inching back up here, all assets are one, and crude is back here to 110. And I mean, that's a huge move, Bob. That's almost 9%. It's 9% in less than a week's time. And we said this last week, you should be buying crude on this dip. You should be buying. If you bought it, you should be taking profits. You should be taking profits, because that kind of move in a week is insane. Volatility is good for traders. We're not in the buy and hold business as traders. Different business. If you're looking for buy and hold, this is not the trade for you. But if you're looking for a trade, this is a trade.
Bingo. Matt, I just wanted to share this. I'm sharing from the grill last night, Matt, from the Cajun shrimp tacos. I mean, just dwell. Beautiful hot summer day in Bend, Oregon, and Cajun shrimp tacos. Forget about it, man. Absolutely forget about it. The best. Amazon.com, just shrimp it. Just that's why I could never get a voiceover job. All you got to do is go to Amazon.com, right, and search Shrimp Mojo, and it pops right up there for you. First page, Shrimp Mojo. All right, Matt, let's continue with our discussion around policy. We're not a political show, but policy, Matt. Policy has to be talked about. And I'm going to shrink myself again so I can get out of the way here. Andy Swan Song shared this today, and he said, holy shit, he sweared on Twitter they should ban him. Germany's first quarter births by year, 2011 to 2022. It was fairly stable, Matt, around 60 to 65,000 births in the first quarter, and a complete plummeting of births. I don't know what this could possibly be. I'm dumbfounded. I don't know how do you get such a perfect symmetry of people procreating and having babies.
Let me guess. Is there a war going on in Germany right now?
No, I don't think it's that.
Blank
Willow, Matt. Anyway, Matt, we're not a policy show, a political show, but something happened there that births are off.
Again, one data point does not make a mountain over a molehill, right? Of course. So let's be realistic here. But a couple things that you and I were talking about is if we start seeing that across into North American markets, and some of the things that we're interested in on the retail side, what happens to companies like Dick's, right? Because think about this a little bit. What is Dick's? Give us your analysis.
Well, I mean, I saw the tweet that Dick's would pay $4,000 for travel expenses for an abortion, and it seems to me that's very counter to their business model. I mean, they need kids, and they need a lot of kids. Like they need baseball. I mean, you bought lacrosse equipment for years. I mean, hockey equipment, baseball equipment.
Yeah, tennis rackets.
I can't imagine. Not only that, you need kids because they become adults, and then they continue once they get some money behind them, they upgrade their golf.
Isn't it interesting that pickleball blew up because of the baby boomers? I mean, it's so funny because
I hate the game. By the way, I hate the game. Pickle. I'm totally for outlawing pickleball. It's the dumbest game on the planet.
But naked pickleball, you are
naked for. Pickleball. I'm actually for at the Ponderosa Sun Ranch in Naked City, Indiana. I don't know why that just jumped in my mind. Maybe I've been there before, and yes, I have. And I met Ron Jeremy. Full circle on the month's podcast here. I actually met Ron Jeremy at the Ponderosa Sun Ranch in Naked City, Indiana. It's a story for another time. But Matt, Dick's Sporting Goods.
Right, so Dick's did the typical thing. Again, it's boggling to think about this, that during COVID, Dick's went 10x, 1332 to 150, basically, right? Dude, that's insane. That is an insane.
I mean, like, how many
move.
more tennis rackets were they going to sell?
No, but it's boggling to think about. Like,
It
even
is.
if it,
It makes
even
no
even if
sense.
it went to 60 back here, which by the way, we just tested 57 on the last earnings. The next earnings are coming up. When are these next ones? Let me see if I can slide this over a little bit. Next earnings are coming up here August 24th for the July period. So these are late in the earnings cycle. And you've had a nice little rally here from 57 most recently to this 86 level. So again, a huge move. That's a 60% move that we've seen in Dick's. Talk about short covering, talk about just squeezing the bejesus out of people. And that happened, that happened here, and we double topped again, looks like, and we got up here.
That's a beautiful profile to behold there, because
this is a nice profile.
The
and
risk
again,
is so defined on that.
Yeah. And again, this is where people need to use like these midterm charts, 1 to 3 months. You shouldn't, because right now we're in a counter trend bull. We're up 12% on the NASDAQ already in a week. Think about that. Like, okay, did the world change much last week? Oh, wait, it's the end of the month, end of the quarter, all kinds of games going on with the positioning of the S&P, all that happening, but nothing got better. Like, did Joe Biden not fall off his bike? Did he
buy his bike at Dick's, and was it?
Did he buy his bike at Dick's, and did he have the full like mechanical what do they call that, warranty?
I'm pretty sure
to fix those lock-in pedals. And why the hell is a 78?
Wait a second.
Why is a 78-year-old guy wearing the Tour de France pedals when he was just on a flat course?
My question is there anybody checking into whether Hunter sabotages the bike? I mean, I come from a family.
Hunter's living the dream in Venice Beach. He's doing drugs. He's just waiting for the smoke to clear.
What a shithole that is.
Yeah, he's got nothing going on.
Anyway, all right. Births, coal, shrimp, Ziggy, Matt. I don't know why you shared Ziggy, but I want to. Matt sometimes just shares stuff with the production crew and expects it to make this show. And I will, tell you that for sure, 98% of the shit that he shares doesn't make the show. 98% ends up on the cutting room floor. But Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, man, let's face it, rock and rollers were the original cross dressers for sure.
Yeah, well, they were, whether it was Prince, whether it was Mick Jagger, whether it was David Bowie, whether it was Pete Townsend. Androgyny was big in the 60s and 70s because of Andy Warhol and all that, right? So yeah, but there's some newer versions of this Ziggy band, reissued. Yeah, Little Richard, exactly, another one. Thanks, Lee. Prince, all of them, right? They were all trying to get you because it was good. It was good for
Well, first of all, they had to have great music, otherwise nobody gives a shit.
Right. But Bowie was also he was the originator of glam rock. Say what you will, right? If you did not have Bowie and the startup, Ziggy Stardust, you wouldn't have had Motley Crue. If you didn't have Bowie, you wouldn't have who's the guy? We're Not Going to Take It. That guy. Poison. All these bands. Does Bowie? You wouldn't have had Aerosmith. You wouldn't have Steven Tyler. Dee Snider. Thank you, Lee. Lee's always there for me.
Lee is so solid.
It's because he doesn't eat meat.
It's ridiculous.
It's because he doesn't eat meat, and he's sharp in the brain.
Classic rock. Now, was there an anniversary for this, or did you just share it because you love Ziggy? And
it's really one of my favorite albums. So
I gotta tell you, I went to Western Michigan, and a lot of Detroit people.
Yeah, Bowie was huge in Detroit.
Bowie was big in Detroit, real big.
Because he was already passe by the time I got to be 16, but I loved him. I loved Hunky Dory. I loved the early 70s stuff. It was like the best stuff out there because I did not like Poison and Motley Crue and that stuff. So I went back to the Who and Ziggy Stardust and Bowie. Those were the bands that I cut my teeth in. Lou Reed, like and without Bowie, you don't have Lou Reed. Without Bowie, you don't have.
Come on, they're pretty contemporary.
No, you don't have Iggy. You don't have Iggy.
Come on, Lou and
they
the
all
Velvet
came
Underground.
from. They
we're
all
talking
came from
middle
Bowie.
60s.
They all came from Bowie.
Now you're speeding. Now you're
No,
speeding.
no, look it up. Look it up.
You're speeding. He's speeding, folks. Get the speed gun out.
They all came from Bowie.
Right. Oh, all right, man. What else you got? Anything else jumping out at you as the dog days of summer are here? Beautiful in Bend, Oregon. I gotta tell you, man, how nice was it last night? Like we were sitting out and drops down to like 75 degrees, no bug. How they don't sell much like deep woods off.
I don't own any bug spray ever in this town. Like, or do I own an umbrella? Or do I own like galoshes? None of these. Or do I own overcoats, top coats? Because you don't need any of those things in Bend, Oregon. So
galoshes. I don't think I've ever, Irish Catholic, 11 kids, galoshes.
Yeah.
No, soggy shoes. That's what we had. We had soggy shoes.
Well, I didn't wear galoshes until I was until I was carrying a bag in the hospital and I had to go in and out all day. Then you had nice, had my $200 shoes. I needed galoshes.
Lee, you got galoshes?
Lee's asking about the crickets in northeastern Oregon. It's it's a epidemic pest breakout.
Oh, really? Never even heard of it.
Yeah. Did you see the size of those things over the weekend? Huge grasshoppers. Like, seriously.
Again, manja rub, grasshoppers on the grill.
Well, I posted that old little clip of Angelina Jolie, showing her kids how to cook scorpions and all that. And I think she was using manja rub in that. So
hopefully.
Yeah. Well, I was hoping you'd bring it in so you could say she was using the rub.
I will for sure eat a cricket or a grasshopper properly rubbed with the shrimp mojo.
But a lot of people like the chocolate thing, I guess, because it masks the entire real reality taste. I mean, I just don't want to eat. Like, I've had enough bugs when I've been biking in my mouth.
Man, I saw on Twitter something that was trending was the question of why are American men dying so early compared to the rest of the developed world? Like solid 8 years, 6-8 years before our contemporaries in the rest of the industrialized West. I don't know. It's another rabbit hole. But again, not good for Dick's Sporting Goods as pickleball sales will be dropping off the face of the earth. All right, man, what else do we got? Anything? We got baseball. We got NFL, not for another bit.
Hey, did you make it out to Best in Show this weekend? You were talking about going
to. It's next Saturday. Saturday.
Okay.
Dog show, Deschutes County. We're going to the dog show, Best in Show.
Yeah.
And we're going to bring Rita and see if we can. You know what I think? Here, let me throw this out because I think this is actually a great idea. And I would love to be part of it. And I don't want to organize it, but I would love to be part of it. And that would be the all rescue dog show. The dog has to have been rescued. And
do they all have to do like the same tricks or?
Yeah, sure.
Like what are the Olympics in this, this scenario?
I just actually want to just try.
So you're the idea guy. So give me some more about it. Give me like.
Well, first of all, it's got to be. You have to be provable, and it's very easy to be provable that you rescued the dog.
Okay.
Right. And you can have your different divisions for sure.
Like, do you have the big dog division, the little dog division?
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what you do.
You just do it by size.
Or how dumb is your dog, and you could have that division.
Or do you do, and then like probably the biggest division is the pit bull division because they're all rescued.
Michael Vick will be
and like do you have an aggressive rescue division and a softer rescue pit bull division, because there's both of those too. It's almost like the trans swimming division and the female female swimming division. There are all these divisions now. There's so many classifications.
Hey Matt, Lee is asking, was the Live Golf last weekend or is it this weekend?
No, it's this weekend. Pumpkin Ridge.
Thursday,
Friday, Saturday.
And we got another You were right. We were talking about this earlier on the golf. Like they just took all of the, let's just call it what it is. What people would just say, that guy's an asshole. The live golf, Brooks Koepka, that guy's an asshole. I mean, I don't know that. I'm just saying what the popular,
Yeah, that's what
I've heard it more than once.
Well, because he doesn't like the press's stupid questions. You would be an asshole too when
I am an asshole. I got no
if you were on
problem
the
with that.
PGA Tour.
I just can't hit a ball, 280 down the middle ever. I tell you what, though, I think I would be good as a captain. I'm pretty good at judging people's
mental game.
Exactly, and where they are in the mental game, because that's huge.
In the cycle.
In the cycle, exactly. And penetrating questions. And you do the penetrating questions to judge the mental side of things, right? But also to see if you can't sway them one way or the other. And I think that's the interesting part of live golf. They need to make this more like me and you play golf, right? Yeah. They should mic these guys up, and they should make golf trashy again, like I play it. Not only that, you want to really make this thing interesting, let these guys start gambling, let them start in person live gambling the purse that they're actually, so let them do it. Let them start gambling with each other in real time. So you want to talk, mic them up and let them get a 6-point Scotch game going on the side.
Yeah, and see if Daly could play drunk better than Koepka when he's drunk. Something like that. So yeah, this weekend we got June 30th through the 2nd at Pumpkin Ridge, which, by the way, if you have not played, Bob, you should play. It's a great track. They got a pro-am. Maybe they'll invite us to the pro-am. We can be
we should be.
We should definitely be there.
Sure be.
But we probably miss it. Here is the confirmed players. How many do you know? Taylor Gooch,
I know
Sergio, and Bryson DeChambeau, another asshole.
Well, yeah, it's the asshole league. Let's just
the asshole. Dustin Johnson, also known as
Ian Poulter, like that guy,
Brooks Koepka, Mickelson. These are all the guys that you're right. Graham McDowell, Koepka's brother. He's there. Kevin Na. I don't know much. Louis Oosthuizen. He's playing.
Louis is his best thing for him.
I'm not paying Patrick Reed, another asshole. Wow, Lee Westwold. He's been known to piss people off. Yeah, I'm surprised Tiger's not in this one.
Oh, that's turn it up a notch. Turn it up a notch.
I'm surprised Tiger's not in it.
All right, that's the show, Matt. I'm calling the show. That's what we got. MarketVitals.io is our community where you get the free Market Vital sheet daily, giving you at least a little basis for.
Oh, and don't forget they got the team piece of it going. I wanted to see. Here's some of the teams.
Yeah, so who they like? This is what they should have. Like, how come there isn't any of this online, or maybe it isn't? I just haven't seen. I wanted to see the draft.
This is at the live site, but I don't. This is they got the 12 4-man teams also going on.
Again, let's just look at Poulter, Westwood. Are those guys all?
Yeah, this is all one team. This is all one team.
Commonwealth, though?
I don't know. No, I don't know.
Nobody knows.
What do you got going on there? You got something else playing in the background. So
no, I don't. I don't know.
All right. Well, we better wrap it up. Something's going on.
I got something. I'm editing, Matt. I'm editing. All right. MarketVitals.io. Please share, retweet, plagiarize far and wide. And we'll be back tomorrow for another segment of Market Vitals. Market Vital. I'm serious. Please retweet this shit out, man. Please share it, retweet it, and visit Amazon.com and buy yourself some shrimp mojo and do yourself a favor. Cook someone a meal like they say at Manja TV. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, Bob.